or tuning in the sun. This is TFM. Get ready to rock. From AM to PM. Come on. Let's talk.
TFM 95.4.
Let's talk.
Live on TFM and the TFM Facebook page. This is the live feed of TTV. Let's talk.
Hello and welcome to the Midday Update. These are the top headlines from our newsroom today. Remote learning for all students except grade 12 according to Ministry of Education. Oman records decrease in general deficit for the year 2019. Yet another history created by Omani women. Largest integrated cement plant to be implemented in Duqm. France COVID-19 cases top 1 million as daily tally hits new high. Philippines braces for Typhoon Malawi. From IPL 2020, Chennai Super Kings win by 8 wickets in yesterday's match. Marcus Rashford inspires Leeds players to donate towards free school meals. These were the top headlines of the day. Let's see how the weather looks like in the country in our weather update.
I'm Antra Bose with your daily dose of weather, and we are standing outside the TFM studio in Alquer. Now, yesterday we spoke about increasing temperature and global warming. Did you know that most of the increase in global temperature since 1950 is because of human activity? Yes, there are some natural causes like volcanic eruptions, but human activity continues to be the primary reason for climate crisis. We're talking about things like deforestation, excessive burning of fossil fuels, and intense agriculture and farming. Now, that was our fact today. We'll step inside the studio and talk a little bit more about weather. According to a weather alert by Oman Meteorology and Public Authority for Civil Aviation, there will be poor visibility during fog. Apart from this, the rest of the Sultanate will see clear skies with the possibility of low-level clouds or fog patches along the Arabian Sea coastline. With that, now let's take a look at what the weather is going to be like all through the Sultanate. Muscat will be sunny with temperatures between 31 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius. Musandam will be sunny with temperatures between 32 to 22 degrees Celsius. North Al-Batana will be sunny with temperatures between 32 to 23 degrees Celsius, and South Al-Batana will also be sunny with temperatures between 31 to 22 degrees Celsius. Al-Buremi, we're expecting showers and temperatures between 34 to 22 degrees Celsius. Al-Dahira will be sunny with temperatures between 33 to 22 degrees Celsius. Al-Dakhliya will be sunny with temperatures between 33 to 20 degrees Celsius. North Al-Sharqiya will be sunny with temperatures between 33 to 17 degrees Celsius, and South Al-Sharqiya will also be sunny with temperatures between 31 to 21 degrees Celsius. Al-Wusta will be partly cloudy with temperatures between 29 to 23 degrees Celsius, and Dhofar will be sunny with temperatures between 31 to 19 degrees Celsius.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update. Now, before we get into the details of the local stories for the day, let's see how the COVID-19 situation looks like in the Sultanate. The Ministry of Health officials has announced the registration of 16 new death cases due to coronavirus in the country today. This has taken the total death toll in the Sultanate to 1,190. The Ministry of Health officials has also extended their deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. In addition to that, the health officials has also registered 422 new coronavirus cases in Oman. The total cases in the country have now touched 113,354, including 99,668 recoveries and 1,190 deaths in total. In fact, in the past 24 hours, 390 recoveries were also reported by the health officials. The ministry has urged everyone to adhere to social distancing instructions issued by the Supreme Committee and the Ministry of Health. Moving on to our local stories for the day. All students except for grade 12 will be studying through the remote learning system according to the Ministry of Education. The ministry announced yesterday through their online platform that a reference to the meeting of the Committee for Improving the Educational Work and in light of the instructions issued by the Supreme Committee to start the school year for all students on 1st November 2020, it has been decided as follows. Students from the grade 1 to grade 11 will study through the remote learning system, except for grade 12 students who will have to attend their schools on a week-by-week system. We affirm the importance of concerned efforts from all to success of this exceptional academic year, thanking all the teaching, administrative, and technical staff for their efforts made during the past period, the Ministry of Education stressed. Now, the general deficit of the Sultanate's budget in 2019 recorded a decrease of 6%. According to the closing account of the state for the fiscal year 2019 issued in the official gazette on Sunday, the expected deficit of 2019 was 2.8 billion Omani riyals, while it actually reached 2.6 billion Omani riyals by the end of the year. Now, an Omani woman, a very young, talented Omani woman who happens to be the first female, not just Omani, but Arab, to dive into Lake Baikal, that is considered as the world's deepest lake in Russia, has made history. And she will be joining us today in today's episode, who will be talking about her experience, how she got into diving, and everything that you need to know. So let's welcome Laila Al-Habsi, who's the first Omani Arab to dive into Lake Baikal. Thank you so much, Laila, for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Laila, before we get into knowing your amazing experience that you had, let us have a little background of you.
So, I'm Laila Al-Habsi from Muscat. I'm a graduate from the People's Friendship University of Russia in Moscow for 6 years, and I currently work in the mining industry of Oman, working with precious metals and strategic metals.
So, Laila, coming from a mining industry background, a completely different background to what you had experienced, how did you get into diving in the first place?
Well, I grew up here in Oman, so as you guys know, there's amazing places here for us to dive. And of course, I'm a geologist, so my love for nature was really, really strong. And that's how I developed an interest for diving, started diving in Oman and other places outside of Oman, and finally decided to go after my dream, which was Lake Baikal.
So for this diving experience, have you been practicing diving in the Sultanate, or when you moved to Russia for your further studies, were you diving there as well?
Well, over there isn't many warm places to dive. So for the dry suit dive, I did it one time, which was there in Lake Baikal. But I have been used to diving over here and other places, of course. The main preparation that I undertook was learning how to regulate my breathing, and of course, understanding that when your body hits the water, there's a certain type of shock that your body goes through and starts to take in more oxygen than you actually require, because you're trying to cope with it. So that was an important preparation that I had to go through, especially with the diving instructor. So he helped me try to understand how to regulate my breathing, do some meditation, and understand that there's nothing to worry about. Your body is going to catch up with the, with the temperature.
You know, Laila, we are just watching on our screen right now that the place is surrounded by ice, like mountains of ice. And there's just a small hole that they have created in the middle for people to experience diving. I really want to know, how was the experience, like what you felt when you were in that place, you know, coming from Oman, going and studying in Russia, still, you know, getting used to of the temperature. How was it like?
So the temperature over there in Baikal in January, it's one of the coldest, of course, the coldest periods to be there. So it was around minus 26, going down to minus 30. Living in Russia for 6 years, it was normal temperature for me. We've been there to a temperature that goes down to minus 40. So it started off by 3 days after my birthday. So it was something like a birthday gift to myself. And I had an obsession with Lake Baikal when I was a student in Moscow. I became so obsessed with it because there's so many legends around it. And also, of course, it's also the oldest lake in the world, 25 million years old. So geologically, it was also very interesting to me. And I only started drinking Lake Baikal water. And then I decided 3 days after my birthday to go there. So took a plane from Moscow to Irkutsk, which is the largest city around that area. And then from Irkutsk, we took a 2-hour ride to Lake Baikal. And from there, I met the diving instructor. He instructed me how to prepare myself, what to do. He put me in the dry suit. And then right before we dived, of course, you're supposed to have something warm. And he hands me a hot chocolate and says, you have to drink this before we go in. And that was my favorite part.
So I think hot chocolate, as long as you have hot chocolate, you can dive into the world's deepest and coldest lakes.
100%. That really helped. I felt that hot chocolate when I was in the water. Definitely.
So Laila, you know, I'm seeing you right now in that dry suit. Can you tell us like how many layers you had to wrap yourself into it? Because, you know, people would be saying that she is in that dry suit, so she wouldn't have felt the intensity and the coldness of the water. Can you tell us, how did you feel when you were in there?
So of course, a dry suit basically protects your main body. So the only parts that touch the water are your hands, your feet, and your face, basically your whole head. So whatever clothes you come with, you're going to dive in. So you have to wear something warm, and then on top of that, there's a layer of sweaters that you wear, and then on top of that is another layer of, I don't know, protective gear, and then you wear the dry suit finally. So definitely it does help keep you warm, but just your core, but your feet, your hands, and your face completely feels the water, and these are the most sensitive areas that humans have. So you do feel the coldness, but of course with hot chocolate it really helps too.
Okay, so
Definitely.
Laila, I understand that hot chocolate was definitely a winner in your experience, but talking about this, you know, experience, was there any time when you were, you know, when you saw the lake, when you saw that you have to go in water while you were in there, did you feel that you can't do it, or you got that feeling of numbness?
Okay, so right before we went into the water, there was 1 minute where I looked at my best friend. And I told her I'm panicking, and she said, no, don't worry about it. You've already made it this far. You can do it. And as soon as I hit the water, I just completely forgot about it. The fear just completely disappeared. But going under the water and actually looking up and seeing that my friend is up there walking and I'm down here, that was crazy. Definitely, it was a crazy feeling.
You know, did you at any point, did you know that with this kind of experience or with this kind of dream that you had, you will actually be the first, not just the Omani, but Arab woman to actually do such crazy diving experience?
No, not really. No. So I didn't go there for that purpose, but I found out about it after people did research. We asked around. We looked, and finally, people told us no. There hasn't been anybody who's dived there before. At least female. So that's when the news came out, and I got really excited. And of course, it's a plus for me doing what I love too.
How was your reaction? How were your feelings when you got to know that you're the first Omani Arab woman to have dived into Lake Baikal?
I was so excited. I was so happy. But also, I looked at the video and I was like, okay, I'm going back for a second time, and this time we're going for an even deeper dive.
Right. I wish you all the best. I'm sure, Layla, you're going to make us prouder every time you go to Lake Baikal. Maybe next time we'll hear that you are, diving about 10 meters in the water or something like that. Because you told me this time you didn't really go in deep.
No, so it was a short dive because Lake Baikal is very deep. It goes up to it's as deep as 1,600 meters. So it is very deep, and for the first time diving in this kind of conditions, for me, I didn't want to go full throttle, so I took it slow. But definitely going back, we're gonna go for a deeper dive.
Wishing you all the best. Now, Layla, you're such a young girl and you had this wild experience. Would you recommend or would you encourage other girls around that they should also go for something unique that they have always been dreaming about, besides all the challenges and all the hiccups that could come their way?
100%, of course. I think the best part starts right after the thing you do that makes you like afraid the most. So for me, the fear didn't hit me until I was just a few meters away from the water. So I definitely recommend every girl to go after her dreams. And if that is diving in the deepest lake in the world, you should go do that. Definitely.
Thank you so much, Layla, once again for joining us in today's episode. It was a really pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best. Keep us updated with all your wild plans.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving on with our local news for the day. The Dukum Cement Projects International, known as DCPI, is all set to construct Oman's largest integrated cement manufacturing facility in Special Economic Zone at Dukum. The new competitive plant, with a capacity of 3.50 million tons per annum, which is about 10,000 tons per day, at an estimated investment of $435 million US, is likely to give impetus to the development of downstream industries. Now, a spokesperson of DCPI said that the economies of scales resulting the envisaged capacity of 10,000 tons per day, coupled with the latest technology, would help us in achieving our aim of becoming one of the most efficient cement producers in the region. The project aims to contribute to the national objective of making Oman a hub for industrial excellence in the region by its abundant mineral resources, additives, world-class ports, efficient economic zones, and strategic location. It's time for a quick commercial break, but stay tuned as we have more updates coming your way from our international desk.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to TTV. You're watching Midday Update, now from our international desk. Following Spain, France on Friday became the second country in Europe to pass the grim 1 million mark after new COVID-19 infections surged by over 40,000 for the second day in a row, health authorities in France reported. In the past 24 hours, 42,032 new cases were also confirmed, beating Thursday's record of 41,661. The total cases reached 1,041,075 in France. The death toll stood at 34,508, representing a one-day increase of 298, higher than 162 on Thursday. The number of hospitalized COVID-19 patients reached 15,008, up by 976 in one day, exceeding the 15,000 threshold for the first time since May 25, 2020. That includes 2,441 serious cases in intensive care units, occupying nearly half of the country's 5,100 resuscitation beds. To date, 2,073 clusters are under investigation, of which 477 are in nursing homes. This represents 184 additional outbreaks in 24 hours. The grave resurgence of the epidemic has forced the government to extend curfews imposed since Saturday on Paris and 8 other major cities to 38 other departments. The restrictive measures now involves 46 million residents who are asked to stay home from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. starting from Friday midnight. Since the end of September, when infection cases soared up, France had already put in place extra measures in regions on maximum alert, including the closure of bars, pools, and gyms. Entertainment facilities, including circus, dance clubs, trade shows, are banned. All outdoor facilities, such as stadiums, can open for no more than 1,000 people. Now, local officials in the Philippines are keeping an eye on areas prone to flooding and landslide in the south of Manila in the Philippines, where Typhoon Malawi made landfall early on Sunday night. On Sunday, the State Weather Bureau (PAGASA) said Typhoon Malawi, packing 130 kilometers per hour winds and gusts of up to 160 kilometers, were spotted 70 kilometers east-northeast of Legazpi City in Albay Province. The Bureau said Malawi, which intensified into a typhoon at 2 p.m. on Sunday, is forecast to continue moving westward until its landfall in Tabaco City in Albay Province. The typhoon will barrel through the southern Luzon south of Manila until Monday afternoon before heading to the South China Sea, the Bureau said. Landslides and flash floods are not uncommon across the Philippines during the rainy season, especially when typhoon hits. The government urged residents of coastal villages in the central Philippines and central and southern Quezon province to move to safer grounds due to the possibility of storm surge. Rough to very rough seas will prevail over many parts of the Luzon Island, the Bureau said. Malawi is the 17th typhoon to barrel through the Philippines this year amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Typhoon Sodel, which barreled through the Philippines last week, also triggered flooding and displaced over 20,000 people. It also damaged crops and roads, the government said. About 20 typhoons and tropical storms batter the Philippines each year. The country of 110 million people has frequent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. It's time once again for a quick commercial break, but stay tuned as we have more updates from a sports desk.
Oman's largest online supermarket, now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to TTV, now from our sports desk. In yesterday's match, Chennai Super King, known as CSK, beat Royal Challengers Bangalore by 8 wickets at the Dubai International Stadium. RCB scored 145 runs with 6 wickets down in their 20 overs. CSK overhauled the target with 8 balls to spare. After winning the toss, RCB opted to bat first but ended up losing 2 early wickets inside 7 overs. Virat Kohli and Abdi Villiers did their best to stabilize the innings, but it never took off in terms of the run rate. In the end, CSK restricted RCB to 145 runs with 6 wickets in hand at the end of 20 overs with the help of Sam Curran and Deepak Chahar. CSK were given a good start, but RCB struck back with the wicket of Faf du Plessis. Ambati Rayuda and Rituraj Gaikwad built a steady partnership from then on, and MS Dhoni shepherded the chase to a close. Now, Leeds United players have donated £25,000, which is about $33,000 to a campaign providing free school meals to children in Britain after being inspired by Manchester United forward Marcus Rashford's efforts, Captain Liam Cooper said. On Thursday, Rashford urged local businesses to tweet the hashtag End Child Food Poverty, which would allow the 22-year-old to locate them. Several have come forward to supply free school meals during half-term in the United Kingdom. Cooper tweeted on Saturday, adding the team would continue to back the cause by saying, "Let's do this, Leeds. No children should ever go hungry. £25,000 guaranteed from the Leeds squad. We stand with you, Marcus Rashford." Now, Rashford forced a government U-turn in July when he won his battle to ensure free school meals during the summer holidays. He then proposed extending the campaign for families receiving financial assistance from the government. With this, we have come to the end of our episode for today, but stay tuned as we will be back again tomorrow at 2 p.m. with more latest updates and news your way. Keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.